this is about 8 minutes of basketball footage that I didn't want to waste. Instead of leaving it on my hard drive for no one to ever see, I thought I'd just make a compilation video and show you guys a complete look about how I make videos behind the scenes and how I shoot and train. What you're seeing on screen right now, this is cut content because the camera quality wasn't that great. This was my first ever time of trying to shoot basketball videos in real life, and you get a glimpse of what happened here. I get a lot of comments saying that my shooting form changes every shot and that some of the movements are forced. Okay, I understand it does look a bit weird. And of course, I only show the makes where everything happens to look good. So this is probably the easiest way to address that. I'll show you a much larger sample size from different courts, different training sessions. And you can see that I'm quite consistent with the shot, even though it looks weird. You'll see mostly makes. I don't want to post too many misses. Maybe you'll see in the IRL game sessions that I'm about to film. But I have different distances apart from the mid-range, from the elbow, from the three, inside, outside, one leg, two leg. You pretty much see everything through this video. My form definitely isn't textbook. I'm not claiming that it is, but there are things I do consistently, and I can't just let the haters slide and make those comments. So while the footage plays, I'm going to point out some things that are looking interesting and what changes depending on the shot, and some things that are going through my mind. And I'm just going through the motions right now. These are the actual type of shots that I would take in game. I know the footwork looks very interesting, suspicious at times. Some people are saying that if I try this, I'm getting instantly blocked, but it's situational. Obviously, I wouldn't be taking lackadaisical shots and doing these travel looking suspicious shots in game. But as you see, if I am open, I will make the shot. People are complaining that the form, if you see a 10-second shot, how will you know if that's consistent or not? This is why these type of videos exist. For those people, they can come on over and see the proof. Previously, I shot some videos on this angle with my own phone. Didn't look that great. So this time I had my friend film it, and you can see the shot is very consistent, and that hoop is 10 foot. It's not like I'm playing on a baby rim. A lot of people complaining I can only shoot in an open gym. That's why you gotta stay tuned, because on Wednesday next week, I'm gathering a lot of people together and we're gonna film some pickup runs, trying to get a lot of different camera angles, trying to make it a production level quality. This is a sneak peek of one of the camera angles. I think it's decent. Here, I'm just having a little bit of fun from a previous film session. So one thing that people might not realize is I don't film the shorts every single day. What I do is take a 30-minute session every single week, and I film every single short from that 30-minute block. So if I'm missing like crazy, I won't even be able to make so many shorts. There's a certain time limit. I'm trying to do everything back to back. Also, it's at the end of a hooping session, so I've already played for a few hours, went to the gym, and then I'm doing it at the end. I know this is probably not the best way to film shorts. You probably see me tired, looking a little bit stiff, not getting low enough, and not doing it very convincingly, but this is how I've been starting to film. If you think about it, I've only been doing the IRL videos for a few weeks, a few months. My channel was started on completely different content. I was doing reactions like Flight Reacts. So the success of my channel doesn't rely only on the IRL content. This is actually something very new. If I only think about from the perspective of when I started IRL, it's only after 1,000 subscribers, so it's not that long. If you guys try this type of content yourself, you'll understand it takes a lot of time and effort. That's why I do it at the end in an open gym, especially when there's no one there. You also can run into issues when there's people, because what if they don't want to be on camera? That's why I'm slowly starting to integrate it as my reputation increases. But so far, you get a little bit of a taste of what I can do on the court. Of course, if there's defense playing, I'm not going to be so lazy, lackadaisical. Again, think about it. If you're training by yourself, you have the flexibility to do whatever you want. And when I'm trying these clips, I'm taking it from the perspective of a casual. Of course, I'm not a pro hooper. You don't watch me for pro hoops. If you did, you would be watching professional NBA players or NBA trainers. You come to my channel to look at what casuals can do and maybe learn something interesting, or if you're a beginner, something that belongs on my channel is not something that will make you a professional one day. So hopefully that makes sense, and you can kind of see I run through the sequence. I'm trying out different sorts of camera angles and stuff like that. These type of shots, I like to practice these, not game speed though, because I'm explaining for certain shorts. Considering that most of my audience is between 13 and 17 years old now, it's very important that I make these shorts very clear and to the point. Sometimes have to slow it down. So people complaining, okay, of course, I'm not a professional, the form's not going to be the greatest, but the idea is an important thing. Because what if these kids watch the video, learn something, and then they can go on to look at the professionals do it? One thing at a time. At least my content isn't clickbait, rage bait, or brain rot. If you watch something, at least you'll be happy afterwards. That's the intent. Here I'm doing a casual session, trying out this camera feature. That's another thing that I'll try to upgrade. As this channel grows and gets bigger, I'm definitely looking to invest in better equipment. I have a vision. This channel can potentially get very big, hosting events, looking at other people, maybe even collaborating with actual professionals in the future, because the internet these days, anything can happen. Here you can kind of get a glimpse of what I look like when I'm just practicing. This one, I had my friend filming. We're testing the different angles. As a YouTuber that's only starting out in IRL, it's surprisingly complicated to understand what to do to make it look good. That's the thing. Everyone has to start from somewhere, right? A lot of people have high expectations for me, so that's why when I read the comments and take on feedback, if you're not a hater and it's actually valid, I will incorporate whatever you say if it makes sense. That's why I'm always willing to learn. I understand my weaknesses. I understand I can make mistakes. So if you guys stick around to be there with me, leave feedback when you can, and I will try to improve video by video, and hopefully one day I can become something that nobody could have ever imagined. The other thing I'm a firm believer of is that you can always improve no matter what your age. I am not the youngest person anymore. You guys can call me Unc. But the thing is, a lot of people around this stage of life, they just accept that they cannot improve. I am the opposite. I truly believe that if anyone puts their mind and effort to it, they can get better every single day. It maybe just depends on what you need to improve. Identifying weaknesses, that's something that I've struggled with my whole life. Let's say you have terrible handles. Well, how do you improve that? I couldn't pinpoint. But something interesting about making videos, there are so many people watching. Some people actually make great comments. It's not a hater per se, but constructive criticism. I'm gonna read that, note it down, and try to remember and improve for next time. So surprisingly, I've actually had crazy levels of improvement because I'm constantly editing and re-watching my own highlights. I know exactly what I'm doing wrong now because people are pointing out as well. That means I can only get better from here. Of course, I'm gonna put in the work. I'm not gonna get lazy. Consistency is key in social media, and that's something that I'm gonna keep striving to improve. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching these clips. Let me know if you have any feedback. One day in the future, someone's gonna look back and see this video, and hopefully by then I'm gonna become way bigger than I am now. So feel free to give a like, subscribe if you want to see more. So we just gotta see how far can these videos go, and let's see if we can push that production quality to the next level.